Yo, what's up, guys? It's Rags to Coins here. Super excited to come at you with another video as promised. I needed to get a new mic so that I could record quality. I want to bring you the best experience. So that's kind of why I took a little bit of time off to get a mic that you could hear me and the quality could be clear. So now that that's over with, super excited. Welcome to Rags to Coins if you're here for the first time. If you're not, welcome back. If you find what I share worth it, hit me up with a subscribe. I'd appreciate it. It's just nice to know that someone out there is benefiting from the content that I'm putting together. So either way, super excited. Glad you're here. Today, the content that I'll be sharing, just keep in mind, this is my personal opinion. Can't call it investment advice, probably technically, I don't know, whatever. So take it for what it's worth. But this is a big presentation for me in the sense that I have a lot of content I want to talk about, and I think it's going to be super useful to you. So welcome again, and let's get it on. So give me a sec. Okay, so today, who is this for? Who's this video for, or podcast, however you're listening to it? Mainly it's for the people who might say, oh, I can't afford a paid Telegram group for crypto. I hope you can't, first of all. I hope that you never can afford those groups because you probably shouldn't ever go into them. Mainly because I believe you can find a lot of that information on the internet and you can learn on your own, and it's easy to get duped in those paid groups, the paid signal groups. Do it the hard way. Do it the hard way rather than learning the hard way, which is the second group of people that I plan to share this video with, which are the people that learned the hard way. Maybe they were in a Telegram group already or a Discord group, and it wasn't even bringing them the gains that they wanted. And so this is to you. This is to kind of get back to basics and hopefully readjust and get back into the game. People who are looking to take their investment into crypto to a new level, they're trying to figure out what's next or how to identify the best opportunities out there. Hopefully this one's for you, and that you can improve your investment tactics and add this and the content that I'm sharing to take it to the next level. And last group is the people who are just needing a process of when it comes time to identify a great investment opportunity, and you don't have the process. This is at least a piece of it. It's not all of it, but it's just a piece to that process that hopefully will be beneficial to you. So are you ready for it? Get a little drum roll. Today I'm going to be talking about the Rags reverse rating. Like I said, it's Rags to Coins. That's me, Rags. So I want to share with you my Rags reverse rating, which is my personal way of identifying good opportunities out there. This is clearly going to look like a screen barf if you can visually see what I'm showing here. But we're going to go through it. We're going to break it down, and it's going to have meaning as we go step by step. But Rags reverse rating in general is, if you were to look at a lot of the recommended ways of finding a good opportunity out there, you're going to see maybe a good GitHub repo, a good white paper, reputable team, promising roadmap, a lot of those things. Rags reverse rating is something, like I said, you're not going to see anywhere else because I came up with it, obviously, but you're not going to see it anywhere else because it's not really talked about. And the reason why I say reverse rating is because it is reverse. So for the things I'm going to talk about, you typically would think they're a good thing, but it's reverse. It's a reverse rating. And so the things that you're seeing actually do have a reverse and a potentially a negative effect on the investment opportunity. Remember, guys, keep in mind I use the word investments because I prefer to invest rather than just quick trade, day trade, pump and dump. I try to find things that will last And that's just in my character and my desire to grow the ecosystem of blockchain and not just make a buck or two and leave. So here we go. First thing we're going to talk about is hype and relevance. Reverse rating. Why might hype and relevance be a bad thing? Well, going over this chart in each of the categories, what people are saying when there's hype and relevance, there's a hard push to buy. It's hot, it's fresh, it's got a lot of potential. Everyone is saying buy. It's super relevant, and I've seen other YouTubers say if something's hot and relevant, that's a good sign that you want to invest in it. With Rags reverse rating, I'd say let's think about this twice and maybe wait. That's why my what to do column says wait and wait it out. When it's hot, everyone's buying it. Everyone's buying it. What I say is talk to you later. Let's put this on hold for a second. Wait so that we can actually feel out. Is it just hype or is it actually the product? And that's harder to do the less experience you have with blockchain technology, because if you have a lot of experience with the blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies, then you can feel out if it actually isn't just hype and that's a product that has a lot of potential to bring a good amount of value to the ecosystem or as a product in general. The problem with hype is it's very unpredictable, and the way that people rush into it is the same way people will rush out of it. So I like to look at a lot of things as if people are hopping into it really quick, the second there's a downturn or a pullback or everyone's rushing into the next thing, they're the first thing. If they went into this first, they're probably going to leave it first. So that's something to think about when you see hype and relevance, is when it's getting pumped, it's also going to get dumped. And so the only way you can benefit from this is if you're getting in before them. So that's kind of the goal in a Rags reverse rating, is to get in before these people. That way you can benefit either way, regardless of the hype and relevance. So my goal, I try to find these opportunities before they go live. Another thing to keep in mind is always pay attention to who is hyping the project or ICO or coin, because that says a lot about its potential. But keep in mind that even OMG, Omisego, was hyped by even well-respected people, and it has tanked since. I think eventually it will go somewhere, but in the moment, keep that in mind. That's an example of hype. They were very good at driving the price up, and it's half of what it was right now. It's half of what it was in the past. So there's a big loss if you would have hopped in during the hype. So as much as you want to disagree with hype, there's plenty of examples where hype has let people down. And I don't want to be a cynic about this stuff, but I'm just trying to bring the reality of this. And OMG, Metal, there's a lot of examples out there where the hype was there and it just tanked right after. If you're following me on Instagram, you'll see me point out these things, and it's not to be negative, it's just to be real and create awareness about these things. So if you wait it out, you're going to get the best opportunity after the hype, because if they can't constantly create hype, then they'll drop. If they're constantly creating hype, that's probably because they're creating value, which is okay to hop in a little bit after you've validated that it's an actual legitimate hype. Next group is miners for the Rags reverse rating. Now, miners isn't what you're thinking about. It's not. I'm not talking about actual like Bitcoin or Ethereum miners that have GPUs or ASIC miners. I'm talking about the miners who are saying me. They're looking to build a claim and get status and generate fame. And so when I see this, when I find a coin and I see miners on it, and these are people that are saying, hey, this worked for me, here's how much I've made off of BitConnect. BitConnect is a great example of something like this. You'll see a lot of people, hey, come on, look at me. And especially something like BitConnect, because it has, a lot of people consider that a Ponzi. Now, so when people are also saying, I called it, hey, like it's going up, I called it, it's rocketing, that's always a bad sign. When someone genuinely wants you to go into it because it's a good thing, they're usually not trying to take credit. So that's just something that a little tick against it when I see that. When I see that someone says that, there's ones out there. ETP is an example of this, of people who are like, I got in at $1. And it's like, there's no way all of you got in at $1 before it shot up. So, you want an honest group, honest business. And so that's something to pay attention to as well. The problem is when there's these miners coming in and claiming and looking for a claim and saying, hop in this, it worked for me. The people who are looking for easy investments, who don't really know what they're doing, are going to rush into it. And when they rush into it, it's going to raise the price, and that could exceed its actual value, which will eventually cause it to drop when that value is not matched with actual value. So usually once I see these miners a hold of something, I usually think it's probably too late. I missed the opportunity to get in on that because now it's gone mainstream and the opportunity to make 2x or 3x or whatever on it is gone away. So keep that in mind. Next thing in the reverse rating is whale watching. The whales. So what the whales are saying, I just put moo, but that's just because the whale, I don't even know what whales say. But when a whale moves in on something, that's usually a bad sign too, that you may have made it too late. So when I find a good opportunity, I'm looking for the whales to move in, if they've moved in or not. And you can usually just see that by large irregular candles on the weekly charts or daily charts, very abnormal spikes that can cause some concern. I love it when whales have not got in to the projects that I find, because if they move in after, then you're just making bank down the road. But a problem with having whales in is you lose a lot of control as just a basic investor, because when the whale leaves, it's too late and they cause a big drop. Whales, you could equivocate to pump and dumps, because there is a surge of volume and a surge of buying, which can create more buys. And if the whale's leaving, it's very hard to time and leave when they do. So that's one reason why I just stay away from coins with a lot of whale activity, unless they're high market caps, because you just don't have control over them. Next thing when it comes to a reverse rating is booms. When I see something moon or go 10x, and it's different for each coin and its market cap, but when I see something boom, then I've really got to feel out the situation and try to figure out, can it boom again? Can things, if they've already mooned, can they keep mooning? If you look at Neo, like it's done over 3,000% in the past year, and it's, number 9 on the market cap now. So there's only so much more it can go. And so it's kind of trapped in that. So getting that more percent out of it is going to be even harder and harder as it gets higher up on the market cap. So keep that in mind when you see something that's boomed. And then I also said as a problem here, gravity. Gravity is a problem because what goes up has a good tendency to go down, especially when it's done quickly. When something shoots up, it can also shoot down and even lower than it shot up. So that's a big flag for me when I'm looking for something, is if there's booms in it, unless I'm getting in after it's truly like hit rock bottom, that's something that I try to keep in mind. Okay, next thing. Marketing. Marketing for rags reverse rating is one of my favorite things, because when I see quality marketing and it has a good outreach to it, it's almost a red flag. Because, and I wish it wasn't this way, it's just that way. Is everyone's going into it, it looks so promising. And if you go to like metal exam, I know I've thrown metal out, and if you're in metal, great. But and I do think it has a lot of potential, but it has killer marketing. And when you see marketing that's just really well done, or like ETH Connect has killer marketing right now, everyone's just shilling it. Shilling's the word. Everyone's shilling it. Then that can be a red flag, because, and I also use when hot. People are like, hurry, hop in before you miss it. Train's leaving, spaceship's leaving. You're guaranteed 20% if you hop in now. And what I say is, marketing is not a metric. So you've got to look at actual metrics, like who are the devs behind the project and what value are they bringing. In cases like this, you can assume that it's probably overvalued if their marketing is really bringing in a ton of people, but that's hard to say too. For me, in rags reverse rating, marketing is one of the biggest strengths that I've used. And I'll give you an example. In the event that there's poor marketing, you can leverage that as a strength. So an example for me is Loopring, LRC. It's had very, very, very bad marketing from the start. And I love Loopring. I think the project's going to it's already done well, and it will keep doing well. And I love the team and the community and the product and the project, and the roadmap. I'm super excited about it, but the point is the marketing side of it has been so bad that few people have been able to discover it and really get into it, which is why that's gold in my world and in my opinion, which is why, as a rags reverse rating, poor marketing, it happens to have an effect that is good, because you can get in on something ahead of the wave of people that are just going to go off of cute signs and great, well thought out, witty phrases, or a great website. So I try to keep this in mind when I'm looking at stuff, because I think that good products will end up selling themselves. And eventually that's okay if there's good market. If there's good marketing down the road, great. I think that good marketing is a good sign, but early on, if you're trying to find a project that's going to blast off, marketing's hopefully isn't their top priority. So something to keep in mind. Okay, last one. And yeah, so is gains. What people are saying when there's gains is this is quick and easy money. It's, did 20% and it's going to the moon. And when it's hot, people are just kind of rubbing it in your face. If you follow Twitter accounts and stuff, it's kind of painful. But what I say in reverse rating is I want just the low and slow, steady gains that are resistant to market fluctuations and keep going. And like I said, this is a personal one. This is a personal opinion when it comes to the opportunity. It's funny. It's gains with a Z it doesn't like that. But anyways, low and slow is a bad way to put it, because I believe that eventually the slow performing ones will outperform the quick spikes, which if you can time the spikes, that works better for you. But the problem, going back to this, and I mentioned earlier, is certain market caps, eventually the coin is stuck within a market cap and it can only shoot up so much. I use NEO as that example. So what I try to do is I try to learn from those gains and see, can it go up, engage it, or find equivalent technologies and equivalent projects that hopefully will do the same but are lower in market cap. For example, Everex. People are saying that Everex is the cheap Omisego. So in that case, Everex would have a lot more opportunity to grow than Omisego would. So things like that are worth keeping in mind. Maybe I meant to say Bank-Era. Maybe Omisego or Everex is the cheaper Bank-Era. Either way, you get the idea. So anyways, going back to these, I hope that you enjoyed this. Hopefully it was not too boring, not too dull, but I just wanted to barf this information out. I'll go back to, this is the chart. Keep these in mind when you find a project and ask yourself, are there shillers? Are there miners out there claiming fame to it? Because that should be a red flag. In history, check me on this. Hit me up in the comments or back me up if you've seen examples of the miners calling it out and saying, hey, you shilling ETP, and next thing you know, ETP, there's no one to be found, no one going crazy about it, and it never spiked up, or metal, or OMG, lots of them. Share them with me in the comments or anywhere, or hit me up on Instagram or anywhere. But yeah, so these are it. I hope you enjoyed that. Once again, thanks for following me. Keep it real.